Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going over today's MLB main slate for today on DraftKings. It's a pretty big slate today, so it should be pretty fun. Got a lot of good hitting options tonight with not a lot of good pitching options that you're going to see pretty soon. The pitchers tonight suck. So anyway, before we continue, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. And also, if you want access to my cheat sheet, I drop the link every day, but apparently you guys can't see it. So if you actually want to drop your email in the comments below, I can email it to you, and then you'll always have access to it. I don't know why YouTube is hiding it every time I post it on the comments, but they are. So anyway, feel free to follow me on Twitter as well at cpen_16. That's with 2 N's. You can hit me up on there as well. And anyway, let's get into the cheat sheet. So pitchers today, as I said, they're pretty bad. I'm not going to prioritize any of the pitchers today, so I'm going to fill them in after my bats, see who fits. But I do have Trevor Williams at number 1, 8,300, and it's just because Vegas likes him, and Arizona's the lowest implied total. I know Arizona actually went off yesterday, but I think it's a decent spot for him. He doesn't have a ton of upside or anything. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but I think he's going to do okay. I mean, he's probably going to go like maybe 15 points. I mean, he's not going to get 30 or anything. But I think bats are going to be what is important on this slate. So pitching's not too important to me. But Zach Wheeler, 7,900. Pitching's gross. But Wheeler at least has some upside. He's very good versus righties and limits the power to both sides of the plate, really. And Philly is mostly right-handed, so I actually think it's a decent matchup for him. He's going to have to get past Bryce Harper. And I can't remember the other guy off the top of my head. But other than that, it's a pretty right-handed heavy lineup. I know it's a really good lineup, but I think Zach Wheeler has some upside. I don't think he's going to get shelled or anything. Then Trent Thornton at 7,000. I feel like he's going to be the chalk tonight. I know a lot of optimizers like him. I don't really like him, but I get it at 7,000. It's not a good park for pitching, and San Fran's actually been putting up some runs lately. The lefties do concern me, and some of the righties, so I don't think it's the best spot for him, but I get why people are going to go there. So if you don't want to play Trent Thornton chalk, I understand that, and I don't know if I really want to either. So we're going to have to see how lineups go. If he fits the lineup, I'll put him in, but not prioritizing him or anything. But it's a nice price. He's probably going to get, 12, 15 points. So just I don't think they're going to strike out a lot. And then at catcher, I like Wellington Castillo at 3,700. I'll play just anybody with the bat in their hands versus Andrew Cashner. And, I mean, yeah, Andrew Cashner can really get hit by both sides of the plate. He can get more ground balls versus righties, but I mean he still gives up a ton of power. So I really like Castillo. Then Buster Posey, 3,400. He gets a park boost playing in Toronto, and I don't think Thornton is very good, like I said earlier. But he's going to give up some fly balls and hard contact to righties and those lefties as well. So I think Posey is in play, and he finally hit a home run a couple days ago. So maybe he can do that again. And he should be lower owned if a lot of people play Thornton. And then Yan Gomes at 4,200. He kind of disappointed last night, but I like him. And I like him better versus lefties. But he hits decently high in the order, and it's in Coors, and he has some pop in his bat. So it makes a lot of sense if you can afford him. Then at first base, we have Yonder Alonso, one of my favorite plays of the day, 4,100. Cashner is very bad versus lefties. I said that a little bit ago. And he keeps the ball on the ground to righties, but a ton of hard contact and fly balls to lefties. And, that's what Yonder Alonso is. So I think it's an awesome spot, and we're in Camden Yards, so it's a good hitter environment. And Vegas likes the White Sox to put up a ton of runs, and the Orioles' bullpen's bad as well, so I don't think Cashner's going to make it very long, but their bullpen's really bad too. So really good spot for Alonso. And then his teammate Jose Abreu, 4,300. It sucks you can't play these guys both because they're both listed in the same position on DraftKings, but Abreu's in a good spot as well. I know Cashner gets more ground balls versus righties, but Abreu's 6 for 9 versus him in his career, so I think Abreu's in a good spot. He had 30 points yesterday, so really like Abreu. And then Chris Davis at 2,700. I know it's gross, but Davis crushes righties, and he crushes right-handed. That doesn't crush righties lately, but he used to. But he still can. He crushes right-handed sinkers, though, really well with a 320 ISO, and Nova has worse splits versus lefties, so it just makes some sense if you need the salary. I don't think you're going to in this slate, but if you do, he's an okay option. And also, Kendrys Morales is pretty in a good spot, too, 3,200 versus Lance Lynn. I don't mind him either. Then at second base, Larry Garcia, 4,500. Not a ton of power in his bat, but leading off versus a lefty. Leading off as a lefty versus Cashner makes me very interested in him. We already went over why we like the lefties versus Cashner. Robinson Cano, 3,900. Price is a little up, but Eflin has some pretty bad splits versus lefties. He's pretty decent versus righties, but versus lefties he can be hit. But I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup. He wasn't yesterday, which sucked because I really liked him yesterday, but I'd continue to fire him up if he is in the lineup. So just be on the lookout to see if he is. And then Danny Santana at 4,200. We can really attack Montas with the lefties, and Santana provides us power and speed upside as well. I'm not a big fan of Montas at all. He gives up a lot of fly balls and hard contact to lefties, so I like all the lefties from Texas. And third base, Nolan Arenado, 5,100. No surprise here. He's going off versus a lefty in Coors. I know Corbin's a good pitcher, but he relies heavily on sinkers and sliders, which is not good in Coors because the breaking ball pitches do not break like they usually do in Coors because of the elevation they're in. So I don't like Corbin today. I know he's at a discount. I don't know if people might go there, but I don't like it because he relies heavily on those breaking pitches and they're not going to break as hard. And then Yohan Moncada at 4,900. He's much better from the left side of the plate, and Cashner is terrible versus lefties and gives up a ton of power and fly balls to lefties. And Moncada is very good versus all that, so he makes a lot of sense if you want to pivot from Arenado. I wish you could play both of these guys. So if you're making multiple lineups, I'd like a White Sox stack, a Rockies stack, just to get exposure to both these guys. And Matt Carpenter at 4,000. Davies is a ground ball guy to righties and a fly ball guy to lefties. And so Matt Carpenter is the lefty versus Davies, and he hits righties very well, 268 ISO. So he makes a lot of sense if you need a little bit more salary relief. Then at shortstop, you have Trevor Story at 5,200. So just like Arenado, they both crush lefties, and Corbin's pitch type isn't well suited for Coors, so he makes a lot of sense here. And then Jonathan VR at 4,900. Leading off for Nova as a lefty, he provides a ton of power, not a ton of power, I'm sorry, provides power and speed upside as well, and is also in a good hitter's park. And then Brendan Crawford at 2,900. It's a park boost for him in Toronto, and he's dirt cheap versus Thornton, who's been giving up power and hard contact to lefties. So far, he's allowed a 300 ISO to lefties. So I think if you really need the salary, I think Crawford's in a decent spot. And then the high-priced outfield, we have Juan Soto at 5,000. It's not a big sample size on Hoffman, but we can certainly attack him with the lefties, and Soto's the number one play today for me. He got 223 ISO and 409 WOBA versus righties, and we're in Coors Field, so he's my favorite player of the day. He's only 5,000. Then Mike Trout at 5,500. Johnny Lasagna, I call him that. I don't know how to say his last name. It's just more fun to say Lasagna. But he gives up more hard contact to righties, and Trout is the best hitter in baseball when it comes to facing right-handed pitching. He's got 337 ISO and 472 WOBA and a 20% walk rate. So if you can afford him, he makes a lot of sense. And Joey Gallo at 5,000. Montas gets crushed by lefties and gives a ton of hard contact to lefties. So good luck versus Gallo. Park downgrade for Gallo though, but he can hit the ball out of the park if any place. And then mid-range outfield, we have Adam Eaton, 4,800. He's a lefty leading off in Coors, so speaks for itself. Then the Mets outfield, so I like Brandon Nimmo and I like Michael Conforto a lot. They're in great spots versus Eflin, who's good versus righties, but bad versus lefties. And both these guys hit righties very well. And then Shin-Soo Choo at 4,300. Again, I love the lefties versus Montas, and Choo qualifies. It's a park downgrade, but Choo is very solid versus righties, so really like him today. And then in the cheap outfield, we have Ian Desmond at 3,500. He's just a cheap Coors righty who hits lefties well, 223 ISO versus lefties, so he makes a lot of sense. And that Nationals bullpen is terrible. Then Ben Zobrist at 3,100. He's extremely cheap leading off versus a lefty. A good one, I said that wrong, versus a righty in Maeda. Sorry, he's facing off versus a righty, and Maeda will give up some power to lefties, and it's in Wrigley, so like Zobrist. And then Nomar Mazara, he's pretty cheap, and he's just another Texas lefty to attack Montas with. Then if we look at, there's no weather today. Oh, and just something I saw on Twitter earlier. Hoffman's allowed, so this is the Rockies pitcher. Sorry. He's allowed 18 earned runs on 20 hits with 8 walks and 11 innings for AAA Albuquerque. So he's coming in very bad form. So I really think the Nationals are going to pound him a little bit today. And then the top stacks are going to be the White Sox, the Nats, the Rockies righties, the Mets lefties, and the Texas lefties. And really, I don't mind all the Rockies because once Corbin's done, their bullpen's pretty bad, so the lefties would be in play as well too. And then I like the Mets lefties and Texas lefties. I don't know if I said that. And then some of the core plays I have right now, I don't know what I'm going to do with pitching, so I don't have any core pitchers yet. And I have Alonso, Story, and Soto. I don't like really much any shortstops other than Story, so I'm going to prioritize spending up on him instead of Arenado as of right now because I do like Moncada. They're both awesome plays, but I really like Story today over any of the shortstops, and then Soto and Alonso. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for the video. Like I said, if you want my cheat sheet, just drop your email in the comments below, and I'll send it to you. If you have any questions, you can comment below as well. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. And remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And good luck today.